Temples are constructed only for gods and goddesses, but here is a temple named after mythological character Bakasura, who is identified as a Rakshasa. Far away from the district headquarters at Nainpak village, in the mandal of Telangana, there is a temple built centuries ago. It houses a huge boulder on which four statues were sculptured: Yoga Narsimha, Kaliyamardhana Krishna, Balarama, and Sita Rama Lakshmana. The Yoga Narsimha idol resembles demon Bakasura, and people living around came to believe that it was the Bakasura temple. The local people, and according to the local folklore, it is believed that once upon a time Bakasura ruled the land. He was the king. He protected his subjects and was very generous to them, but killed those outside his kingdom. In the epic Mahabharata, Bakasura was a man-eater Rakshas. He was also known by the names of Baka or Vaka, who was killed by Bhima. The demon lived near the village of Ekachara. He was an evil man-eater who used to force the village headsman to send him a large number of provisions every day, which he devoured along with the bulls of the bullock cart and the man who provided them. They were so fed up and so annoyed with the demon. One day, the Pandavas, along with Kunti, arrived at Ekachara village. This was after they escaped the Lakshagraha fire incident, as they had to live under disguise for some more time. They lived and took shelter in the home of a Brahmin. Kunti heard voices of mourning from another room one afternoon. When asked, the scholar explained to her about Bakasura and his atrocities, the next victims. They were wailing, thinking about their children, and were terribly worried about their life as orphans. They explained to Kunti how Bakasura summoned the villagers to bring him his feast and consume the one who took them. Kunti was terrified and furious at the same time. She went to Bhima to share the sad story, who was present at home that day. She told the story of the villagers and their fear, and commanded Bhima to teach a lesson to the monster. She assured the Brahmin that their sufferings would end, and also Bhima will visit Bakasura with the food in their next trip. The next day, Bhima was very excited and filled with joy because he would be getting to do two of his most favorite things: eat a lot of food and fight a demon. He set out in the bullock cart with the food and began to ride the bullock cart, jam packed with different kinds of lip smacking fruits, vegetables, and meat. Without any second thoughts, Bhima stopped a little afar from the Bakasura cave and began to feast on them. He gobbled up the food like he hadn't eaten in days. He had no fear about the deadly demon Bakasura, in spite of hearing all the horrid stories about the terrible acts of the Rakshasa. Bhima ended up finishing the whole cart of food just in time for Bakasura to wake up. Bakasura woke up and comes out of his cave, annoyed and angry and hungry. He is desperately waiting for his meal. He sees the cart from afar, hungry as ever, waiting eagerly to eat all the food and the man carrying it. The cart gets nearer and Bakasura starts noticing something unusual. He sees that the cart is totally empty. Enraged by what he saw, Bakasura jumps on Bhima and tries to rip him apart. Bhima reaches out for an ancient tree, plucks it, and throws it at Bakasura. Bakasura yells out and he attacks Bhima. Bhima tauntingly calls him Baka, Baka to instigate the fight further. Bakasura went mad and he plucked many more trees and threw at Bhima. He jumped over Bhima and thus started a battle between them. They fought fiercely for a few hours. Bhima used his gada and smashed Bakasura black and blue. He was shocked to see Bhima. Bakasura was shocked to see Bhima's power and confidence and couldn't hold him back. Bhima finally beat Bakasura to death. Bhima returned to Ekachara Nagara with empty cart and the happiest news for the villagers. He went to the landlord's house and told them what happened. The scholar and his family were ever so grateful to Bhima and his mother Kunti. They thanked and honored them, and they in fact wanted the entire villagers to come and thank them. Kunti requested the scholar not to tell the villagers about Bhima killing Bakasura, as this would disclose the identity of the Pandavas and they would again be in a lot of trouble. The indebted landlord assured that he would keep the secret in return for the greatest favor. The Brahmin family told the people that a Brahman with unusual great powers used a lot of mantras to kill Bakasura as he took pity on their villagers. And by the time they went with the food, Bakasura was already dead. The people were finally relieved and thanked the Brahman who may have killed the demon of Ekachara village. And the village lived happily once again.